Hey badminton fans and players all around the world. Welcome to episode 8 of the Tokyo 2020 show. I'm Henry, this is Jeff, and we're from the Badminton podcast and Volant. On the show, we're going to give you the latest news, updates, results, opinions, polls, predictions, and so much more. Now Jeff, what's that bronze medal doing around you?
Well, Henry, today is the first bronze medal match, so first of the medals in the badminton event. And I'm more than happy to let you know, you already do know, that Yuta Watanabe and Arisa Higashino, the Japanese mixed doubles pair, they did win the bronze medal just this morning against the pair of Tang Chunman, Su Ying Sweat of Hong Kong. Close two-setter, but I'm really happy. Of course, we both wanted Yuta to win gold in mix. It was going to be a hard task against the Chinese, but really glad that they've made it through. I guess from that perspective, history has been made, right? So Yuta is the first men's badminton player to win a medal at the Olympic Games, so that's pretty awesome. But on the flip side, even though the Hong Kong pair didn't win, they are the first, they've made it the furthest in the Olympic Games.
Still making Olympic history, right?
They're making Olympic history for Hong Kong.
And they were so close in that second set.
They almost got that.
So it was very scary for us on our seats, right? Just hoping. I mean, I love Hong Kong, from Hong Kong myself, but really wanted Watanabe to win this morning.
Yeah, especially after the disappointment of yesterday. Losing 2 in a row would have been hard emotionally. So I think he did really well to get over that and win today.
Of course, and I think he didn't really get enough time to grieve his loss against the Jing Siwei and Huang Yaqiong yesterday, and then just get thrown into his men's doubles. That was tough for him, very tough for him. So very happy that he managed to secure Japan's first medal at this Olympics, for the badminton.
And speaking of medals, look, we had thought that Japan would take the most gold medals
originally,
home. But unfortunately, we had Okuhara. She lost out in a women's singles match today, quarterfinal against He Bingjiao. In 3 sets, but the second and third set were pretty one-sided. She just didn't have a weapon to finish the rallies, did she? And
she wasn't aggressive enough when she could have been. But I guess, yes, she does have that retriever style kind of play, and not having a weapon is challenging because she just couldn't finish the points, where He Bingjiao was just physically a lot stronger than her and almost pushing her around the court quite a bit in those second and third sets.
So now all hopes on Akane Yamaguchi against PV Sindhu later tonight. That's the only gold medal chance that Japan has still got.
Exactly. But in terms of the, we also had Chen Yufei versus An Se-young this morning as well. Very interesting game because they both brought a very similar style.
Just a long rally game. But I think at the end of the day, Chen Yufei just had more weapons to finish the point off. I think that was the main difference there. 21-18, 21-19, so 2 really close sets.
And it's a couple of costly errors from Se-young as well, but I think she should be, at 19 years old, she should be very proud with how well she's performed at this Olympics.
Sure.
In terms of other news, yesterday we saw the women's doubles quarterfinals. It kind of was as expected as our predictions the other day. The only sort of call out would have been the Grazier and Apriani.
I had them. I had them beating the Chinese women's doubles pair.
You did, but it was a bit of a surprise. I think both of them, both pairs, one had a sort of a calf strain, in Li Yinhui towards
I think it was more of a cramp towards the end because it was such a long match. But then after Grazier won, she could barely get off the court. She was just lying there.
She had to get dragged off the court, right?
It was a massive match. It was so long, but we'll see what the Indonesians are like in the next match because that would have taken quite a bit out of them. But we also saw the 2 Japanese pairs fall out. As we said, we really wanted Hirota and Fukushima to win, although, sporting an injury like that for Hirota, very challenging. I think she moved better. They did challenge it, but they just, Jia Yifan and Chen Chen were just too strong at the end of the day. And you could see that injury preventing her from full movement and the gaps in the court that did open up because of it.
And then we had Matsumoto Nagahara as well, losing out to Kim
Nail biter.
That was tight. That was very tight.
We could hear the sound from the other court on the TV screen because we could hear them screaming on the other court. It was a massive match.
But I guess that leaves us with the women's doubles semi-finals, which will be Grazier Apriani versus Li and Xin. And then we have Kim and Kong versus Chen Jia Yifan. What do you think of those?
Look, I think even though I do really like Grazier and Apriani, I do think Lee and Shin will come away with this one because, look, I think that match took it out of the Indonesians yesterday. And the power, the firepower of Lee and Shin, I think will be a little bit hard for them to handle.
Yeah, and physically they're both looking quite strong as well.
Yeah.
Shin also has her experience of winning an Olympic bronze medal in the past as well. So she's got that experience. I know, of course, Gracia does have 3 Olympics experiences as well. But Lee and Shin just looking too physically strong. For me personally, I'm thinking that it's going to be an all-Korean final.
Okay, interesting. But I am tipping the Koreans for that one though, that match. Which brings us to the other one. So we've got Kim and Kong versus a Chinese pair, Chen Qingchen, Jia Yifan. I'm probably still going to go with the Chinese for this one. I think they took a bit to get going yesterday against Fukushima and Hirota, but in the second and third sets, they didn't look really in doubt. I think they were in control the whole way. And when Chen Qingchen and Jia Yifan got in their groove and they were yelling and screaming and pumped up.
Almost too much.
We'll leave that for another discussion.
But
I think that's the momentum's so strong that it's going to be hard to beat that. But the Korean pair are loud as well, so maybe there's going to be a bit of a battle of mental minds as well.
Battle of voices, battle of mental mind. I think that under the defensive stance when the Chinese in defense, which Kim and Kong are so good at getting the attack. That's why I'm thinking an all-Korean final, because I think Kim and Kong, they are so good at getting the attack, with Shin sort of covering the front and Kong just pummeling it down. I think it's kind of one of those things, Jia Yifan pummeling, or it's Kong pummeling it down.
Just so much power on that court.
But I'm tipping the all-Korean final.
Yep. All right, let's go into men's singles.
Yeah.
We did have a lot of men's singles matches last night. So we had Kevin Cordon, Mark Calgiel, and Kevin came through.
He did.
Tight third set, a big left-handed smash, but let's see if he can smash his way to victory in the next match against Hyo, who will be coming off confidence, beating Kento Momoda in the last round. Yeah. And he's had a bit of a rest. He's had a rest day as well.
Yeah, so that upper part of the draw is certainly a bit more favourable. But yeah, we also saw Axelsen convincingly beating Wang Zuwei in straight sets. And we also saw Shi Yuqi.
I haven't seen him for a while, but he was strong. Like, he was spinning off Jonathan's spin nets like nothing. And
exactly. Christy was trying to take on the net, but then, she's just like, let me spin yours 5 times more.
Yeah. That being said, I don't think Jonathan's played the best for the Olympics, but Shi Yuqi is really impressive.
I think he did play much better yesterday than he did against Qian Yu though. He
I think so.
Did bring a better game. But yeah, I guess the key one for last night was Li Zijia and Chen Long. Yeah. Let's have a chat about that one.
Yeah, look, that was an interesting one. That, like, Zijia started so well, of course, winning the first set under 10, and then losing the second set with the drift. So we could see the drift playing a huge part in that second set in Zijia's errors in the rear court. But he managed to find a way. Like, he was able to keep it neutral, then go over it, but when he went over, he went a bit higher, take control of the net and still attack. And he was able to catch up quite a bit against Chen Long in that second.
Yeah, I think just because at the start he was really trying to get accustomed to the court and the drift, and after the switching of sides, and Chen Long really adjusted his own strategy going on to the different sides. It's almost like he had a sort of flick of a switch. He's like, "Yep, I'm on this side now. I'll adjust accordingly." And when Zijia left some of them, just
right in the corner. Yeah, that's what Chen Long brings, like, so much control, right? He's just, like you said, flick a switch, I'm on the court with the drift, I'll play with exactly this much power and it's going to go exactly here. It was almost like that. But I was really impressed with Zijia's ability to change his game style in the second and get really close to winning that. When he started to see the errors come. And I thought that it would be really good into the third, so he'll know how to play on both sides. But then it's just some errors, and then Chen Long just got ahead, and it was just so far to get back from there. So unfortunate for Zijia. I did want him to win, but Chen Long is just so solid. Yeah,
but certainly a lot of positives to take out from that match for both players. And very like rising star in Zijia, and we hope that we see him
more
perform a lot better in future tournaments.
So the lineup now, we do have Hyo versus Kevin Cordon. I do think that Hyo will take that, but Kevin is playing with basically underdog mentality the whole tournament here, so he could do a surprise upset. But I think the aggressiveness of Hyo, if he does play like he did against Kento, I think it's going to be hard for Kevin to defend those things, those smashes and those attacks.
I think Hyo now coming into, I guess, the quarterfinals, right, he's going to start to feel a little bit more pressure. So I have a feeling Cordon might win this one.
Okay, top limb, the underdog. Okay, okay, I'm going for Cordon. Cool.
Yeah. In terms of Axelsen, Yuchi, Yuchi, like we said, playing really good badminton yesterday night, but Axelsen is looking so good. He's looking so good, and he has a 4-1 head-to-head against Yuchi, last playing All England 2020, winning in straight sets. So
yeah,
Axelsen for me.
Axelsen for me as well, but yeah, Axelsen for me, but I wouldn't be surprised if Shiuchi comes out with an amazing game, because we got to see him last night, but we haven't seen too much of him, so it'll be interesting to see what he comes with tonight, but I'll go Axelsen as well.
Okay.
Then we've got Ginting versus Anders Antonsen. That's going to be, of course, a huge match again. I do think Anders has a little bit of a psychological, like Anders is so smart in the way that he plays. Ginting is fast, but I feel that Anders, if he plays to his game plan and he can anticipate well and make Ginting play, especially into his forehand corner where he's got that kind of whippy, really steep smash down the line and cross, I think it'd be a bit tricky for Ginting.
Yeah, okay. I'm actually going to go Ginting for this one. Historically, even though they've been close matches, Ginting has done really well. So we're looking at a 3-0 head-to-head between the two.
I stand corrected in terms of the psychological.
Yeah. So psychologically, I think Ginting, he brings such intensity and speed to the game that I'm not sure Antonsen, although so fast, I guess intelligent on court, I'm not sure he can keep up even though he's that smart.
Okay. Be an interesting one. And then lastly, we've got Chen Long and Cho Chen Chen.
Yeah.
Look, what we saw from CTC or Cho Chen Chen against Brian Yang in the group stage wasn't great. And then Chen Long has a 9-0 head-to-head against Cho Chen Chen. So I'm going to have to go Chen Long based on history and the way that I can see them playing.
Yeah, with what we've seen of CTC so far, if he plays that same game, he's not going to get anywhere close to Chen Long, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. Anyway, so now we're going to move on to our guest segment. We have an extremely special guest for you guys today. So who we have is Tony Gunawan. I think you've probably heard of this name, but if you haven't, he's often labelled by some fans as the greatest doubles player of all time, having won gold at the 2000 Sydney Olympics. He's won Asian championships, and he's the 2-time world champion as well.
So Tony, Hendra and Asan are a little bit older now as badminton players, 33 and 36 years old. But why are they so good? How come they've been able to be so good for so long?
I think their style, right? Experience and style, personality also. So they really, the way they play is really efficient, right? They if you watch their game, it's like effortless. You know, the way they attack, the way they anticipate opponent. It's like not that much wasting energy to work at all. So that's experience. And then because of they trust each other, also communication very good. They know where the partner is. You know, they know even in the front, doesn't matter whoever it is, right? Even they miss, they know their partner in the back is covering pretty well. So I think the style wise, it's not like reflexes or you know, like having like reflexes very fast. Their style is more control and anticipate. So you know, with the experience what they have, that's why they can last very long. I think so. They're not really wasting that much energy with their style.
Yeah, they're definitely a very efficient partnership, and they're playing for so long together. And you can always see that they're always in control and aware when they're playing. So in terms of their future matches in this Olympic Games, what do you think Hendra and Asan need to do to win the gold? They do have Lee and Wang this evening in the semi-finals. So it'd be great to get your thoughts as well as your predictions on the game.
Prediction. Okay. I think for me, of course, I want Hendra and Asan win, right? You know, as my junior, coming from Indonesia, and then I like their style also, and I think they do have pretty big chance because you know Olympic is very I cannot say strange, but pressure is very high, right? You know, like a lot of favorite is lose because pressure is too high, right? Expectation is too high, so that's why I think compared to Kevin and Marcus, which is, you know, everyone thinking, oh, they are number one, they are like really favorite to win. stuff, right? Pressure is really high on them. I think Asan and Hendra last time they meet against Taiwan, Taipei, I think they lost 3 games in Thailand Open or something like that, right? So I think right now the pressure is not really high on them. The pressure I think is on Taipei. So I do think Hendra and Asan have a big chance to win in semi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What do you think is important for them to do to say after the match to win the gold? I know that they still need to win tonight first, but do you think they need to change anything, or do they just need to play their game and they still have that very good chance?
Absolutely, they have to play their game, right? I mean, their game is worked so far until now, until when I mean every time. And like I said, like their game style is very efficient, quality shot anticipation is very good, right? I think what they need to do, I think everyone, uh, if you think about how much pressure is in Olympics, right, then you will have that much pressure. So I think it just need to do their routine. This is routine. This is training. It's the same, same thing, right? But if you think too much about, oh, this is Olympic, it become big, then of course it's gonna be big. So just think of this as your routine. It's routine shot. You train this every day, every single day, every single hour. You train the same shot over and over. So it just yeah, just trust yourself, I think, and then go for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of it sort of answers our question that, the Olympics is quite a long event, and being a gold medal winner yourself, and what was the most
Yeah.
important thing for you that helped you play well for the whole event? I guess that routine part is one of it, but is there anything else for you when you were playing the Olympics?
Yeah. Again, yeah, I mentioned before what I do during Olympics. Like you said, we arrive like 10 days before the matches start, right? So like I said, it's a routine every day we train. So that time I running, jogging every day, right? So even during Olympic Games. So that's what I think. Okay, this is my routine. So every day, if I play afternoon, morning, I keep forcing myself to do jogging, to run, and to exercise every time. If I play morning, then afternoon after finish, then I do jogging or training. So basically, I will try the best I can to keep this is routine daily. So it's not like, oh, this is different. I have to be take my energy, or I have to, eat more or anything different, right? So because it's something, basically don't do anything new, right? Because your body maybe not used to it, your mind not used to it. So just do the what you do every day. I think that's the best advice I can give for everyone. I think.
Mm-hmm. And then when we go back to the Sydney 2000 Olympics, when you did win the gold, you talk about the pressure of the Olympics and how much it means. But what does the gold mean to you? What did it mean to you? And how did you feel when you won the gold medal?
How do I feel? It's dream come true. It takes how long? Again, Olympics is very important because of every 4 years, right? Like anything, it as an athlete, it's not really. I think the age of an athlete is very short, right? You play Olympic twice, 3 times is very rare. I think you do twice and then you get gold twice. It's also very rare. I mean, there is uh Sang Jun, I think, right? Gervais Jun is got 2 goals. But it's how to waiting 4 years from when you play right now, you don't know what can happen in 4 years. Right? So that's why it feels like it's like rare, like rare event, and then you represent whole country, all eyes on you. So pressure is very high. So that's what make it really important, I think. So again, like it's not like all England. All England, don't get me wrong, its prestige is very high also, but it's every year. So you lose. You know that you lose now. Next year is to play. You know that your body still can handle it. But in 4 years, you don't know. You still cannot play. Like what happened in another 4 years, you don't know. So that's why this is kind of like a rare chance to be able to represent your country, your association, your teammate, your family. It's like all in only this one event.
Yeah, and I can see you smiling just thinking about your gold medal win. So I can see how much it would have meant to you when you did win that gold medal back in the day. So finally, Tony, you know, we have Hendra and Asan going into the hopefully going into the finals at some point. What message would you send to them?
Well, of course, I would like them to win. Then, good luck, do your best, and believe in yourself, right? Like believe what you do every day. It's again come back to yourself again. It's what you do on during training. I think you already do it so many times, and you already know what your style is, right? And believe in your game, believe in yourself, and believe that God is always give the best to us. So good luck, and I'm pray for Hendra to win.
Fantastic. And lastly, Tony, we have a lot of Indonesians fans tuning in. Do you have a quick message for the fans back at home in Indonesia?
Oh, of course. The fans, Indonesian fans, for sure, you're gonna support Hendra and Son. So yeah, please keep supporting, and then pray for them, and give your best support for Hendra and Asan.
Thank you, Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
Yeah, no problem.
So it's great to hear from someone who's been there and done that after winning gold at the 2000 Olympics in Sydney. Thanks, Tony. So Henry, for this afternoon's match, it starts at 3:30 Tokyo time. What are the do not miss matches?
Look, Jeff, it goes without saying that the mixed doubles gold medal match is a do not miss match. You can't miss that, obviously. We have Zheng Siwei, Huang Yaqiong versus Wang Yilu, Huang Dongping. This is going to be an incredibly fast match, so many flat exchanges. Who do you think is going to take that one?
I think based on the head-to-head, which is 13-2, I think Siwei and Yaqiong are going to take this one, as they have 13 other times. I think both pairs are playing really well, but I think that they've got that mental edge as well. All Chinese are fair. It's going to be really good, really close, I think, but I do think they're going to come away with it.
Yeah, I agree. I think the fact that they have now essentially claimed gold and silver for the country, I feel like they're going to be a bit more relaxed. Certainly there'll be that sort of competitiveness and wanting to win the gold, right? And the pressure from that. But I think that'll bring out a really strong competitive match from both pairs.
I think so as well. So I'm going to go with that. We agree on that one for once.
So Zheng Siwei, Wang Yaqiong.
Yeah. Then we've got 4:45. We've got the women's singles quarterfinals. Now this is a pretty big one because Akane Yamaguchi playing for Japan and is the last hope for Japan to win gold. Yeah. She's playing against PV Sindhu of India, and look, that's going to be tricky personally, I think, for Yamaguchi because Sindhu does look like she's playing pretty well.
Yeah, of what we've seen of Sindhu so far, she's looking a lot more mentally and physically strong compared to what she was like earlier this year. So I think whatever happened in that period where she's had a bit of a slump,
a bit of a lull,
a bit of a lull, she's come back and she's playing really well. She's won her matches pretty convincingly throughout the Olympics so far. But Yamaguchi, I believe Yamaguchi in their last game they did went to 3 sets. 21-19 in the third. So look, as Japan's last hope, will the pressure be too much for Yamaguchi, you think?
It might be, yeah, because of course Okuhara not winning this morning and last gold medal hopes. I hope she can do. I really do like Yamaguchi. Look, in 2019 there's a period where she was winning so many of the Super Series, right? And then she got injured, and then we haven't probably seen the same Yamaguchi as we're used to seeing. Yeah. And head-to-head wise, Sindhu is ahead.
11-7. 11-7 head-to-head. So it's a tough one. But yeah, look, I'll agree with you, and I think Sindhu's probably going to take that one.
I think so as well. Even though I am kind of rooting for Yamaguchi.
Rooting for Japan.
Yeah, because we came into this Olympics thinking that they'll win most medals, right? And most gold medals, and they've only got one more chance
on their last legs.
Yeah.
unfortunately. So, and then yesterday we also talked about the other women's singles quarterfinal in Ratchanok Intanon and Tai Su Ying, which is this afternoon as well. If you want to check out what we thought of that match, or what the strengths and weaknesses are of the two players and who we think are going to win, make sure you check out the last episode, which was episode 7, and. Yeah, well, I think you decided that Tai Su was probably going to take it, and I went for Ratchanok Intanon.
Yeah. It would be interesting to see what happens there.
Yeah.
Cool. And then lastly, we are going to have a chat about the 7 p.m. match, men's doubles. That's a semi-finals. Aaron Chia Soe-Yik, Malaysia versus Lee Junhui Liu Yu Chen from China, the Twin Towers. Look, both are in good form, aren't they?
Yeah.
After yesterday, I thought the Twin Towers probably weren't as good yesterday as they were against Sonoda and Kimura previously. But I do think they're playing well. I think they were a bit slow off the blocks against the Danish pair yesterday, but the Danes did play well.
Yeah, look, I think when they play Kimura Sonoda, I think it's because they kind of know what speed Kimura Sonoda bring, and they're kind of just ready there.
Yeah.
And you could see that Lee Junhui, when they actually switched to play the Danish pair, he just didn't seem quite as ready, especially around the front court. His racket just didn't seem to be up enough of the times. And when we look at Malaysia's Aaron Chia and Soe-Yik, right, they came firing yesterday against the Minions. Again, similar story, 5-0 down head-to-head against the Twin Towers. Yesterday was 7-0 down against Minions.
Yeah.
If they're going to do it...
They're going to do it at Olympics, right? With all the upsets happening, like, this is the place to do it if you're going to do it. I do think... The safer choice for me, I definitely think, is the Twin Towers based on history, but Malaysian pride, there's still a bit of Malaysian in me. I'm going to go to the Malaysians. So and Chia for the win. But they do have to both bring their A game like they did against the Minions. If say So doesn't play as well, it's going to be really, really hard, I think.
Yeah, I think yesterday their rotation was so strong that they were able to win at the net, which is so important against Kevin. Winning that Minions.
Yeah, we didn't think that was going to happen. We thought Kevin would be all over that net, but they were winning the exchanges at the net against Kevin, and that was really surprising for me.
Yeah, so I think if they can bring that game, I would also go for Malaysia as well.
So you're going to go for Malaysians?
Yeah.
Okay, both of us Malaysians for that. Awesome. So now we have the results for yesterday's poll. Now, it was the secret sound again. We had 4 options of which women's doubles player makes that sound. It was when she was smashing. The choices were?
We had A, Shin Sung Chan. We had B, Stephanie Stoiva. C, Jia Yifan. And D, Wakana Nagahara. If you haven't heard of the sound, check it out now. And we received over 10,000 votes for this one. And Jeff, what did
And the majority, so 38.6%, so the highest number of votes for A, Shin. So that is her. She did comment on it, didn't she?
She did in Instagram. Actually, we had 3 women's doubles players weighing in on their thoughts as well. We had Shin Sung Chan herself, we had Jong Ko Fan, and we had Stephanie.
Yeah. So interesting. So the answer is A. So good work to everyone who voted for that. Now we have another poll for you. We have Malaysian legend Lizzie Jia. Unfortunately, he didn't make it through yesterday against Chen Long, but we love him anyway. He's a great player. So have a look on screen now and tell us, where do you think the shuttle is? Is it at A, B, C, or D? Cast your votes in and we will reveal the answer tomorrow.
So just a reminder of start time for the play this afternoon, starting at 3:30 local or Tokyo time, and then tomorrow morning at 9 AM local Tokyo time. And if you're dying to watch those matches, make sure you check the screen now. You can check out the match center, the live blog, as well as where to find your local coverage for the matches live.
Fantastic. Now, before we do sign off, we are going to raise a racket again, as we have every day on the show. So today, we are raising our rackets to Kevin Cordon from Guatemala, men's singles player. Look, he's been at Olympics 4 times in the past. This is the best he's ever gone. He debuted in 2008 in Beijing, and he's in the quarterfinals of the men's singles event, furthest he's been. And we wish him all the best in his match tomorrow morning against the Korean hero. So all the best, Kevin, and we raise a racket to you. So this is episode 8 of the Tokyo 2020 show. We are looking forward to bringing you the show tomorrow. We'll see you then.
See you, everyone.